After having a small break in GoWR Ragnarok, I would continuously mess up the Guardian Fury tech. So I thought to myself, there has to be a way to get this move more consistent. I went back into one of my old videos, the tutorial for the move, and I remember a comment from, I think it was Sally. He commented about a different order to do the input presses. So usually I would do dodge, then cancel the dodge with a sprint, press recall, so triangle and R1, recall light attack. That's the way I used to do it. But he talked about doing dodge recall, so dodge recall, and then press sprint and light attack together at the same frame. I remember I was trying it back then, I couldn't get it to work, and I was trying now, I couldn't get it to work. So the problem with this move and this tech that makes it not that consistent is because of this button here, L3. So if you imagine, if you're holding your controller like this, or if you're on the bus watching this, whatever, you imagine you're holding your controller like this. Now you're gonna press them at the same frame. It's really hard to tell if you would have to bet money on it. Did I press those two buttons at the exact same frame? So what I did to fix this is to change the button layout. So I'm gonna explain. I swapped out sprint, so L3 was sprint, I swapped it for square. That way I can press these two buttons like this with the same hand, boop, boop, knowing they will be pressed at the same frame. And then I did what he said, so dodge, recall, and then press those at the same frame. And it works really, really great. So instead of having the companion here, I swap arrows with L3 and then I press the D-pad up to shoot arrows. Almost never use it, but when I use it I press D-pad up. I use dodge on circle, by the way. If you're playing default, your dodge will be on cross. So I guess if you play claw you can play like this, or if you just have to press them like this. Boop, boop, and then those two buttons together. So all I have to do now is press dodge, recall, and then those two buttons together at the same frame. Sprint, square, R1, light attack, like this. And now we get a move out. Also I can just roll my thumb, so I can prip and then do like this. Pros and cons, changing this button layout. Start with the pros. Not only do you get a more responsive button for sprinting, but you will also be able to do a quick turn by pressing square. This one I really like. So I can just quick turn by pressing square, instead of having the swipe button, you know, accidentally pressing the inventory menu. You will also avoid stick drift. So instead of pressing L3 all the time, which can be taxing on your controller, I think I replaced like 3 controllers or something like that since I started playing Ragnarok and doing that move. So now you just have to press square to sprint. Cons. What about the negatives? You will have to build up a new muscle memory. That's the biggest negative of all. It took me around, I can play 2 hours each evening. It took me around, two gaming sessions, something like that. 4 hours to get used to. So you just have to, you know, play the game normally, and you will mess up a couple of times, but then it will be stuck in your memory. Another negative is that your rage will be messed up. So if you are popping rage with those two buttons together, it will be swapped out, so you will have to press square. I don't like that, so I just remapped those, changed the buttons to circle and cross to pop rage. And then you have the negative with the companion button, of course, as I mentioned earlier, so you will have to remap that one. I have it on D-pad up to shoot arrows, and then swap arrows with L3. Other than that, no other negative.